I-18F, been dating my boyfriend, 24M, for under a year, and at first he was supportive, but now he constantly criticizes how I handle my chronic illnesses and daily life, so I called him a discount dad, and now his friends and mom are messaging me about how I'm too immature to be in a relationship. Posted by u/dry_butterscotch414. Hi Reddit. Throwaway because I don't want this linked to my main. I-18F, have been dating my boyfriend, let's call him Jake, 24M, for a little under a year. At first, things were really good. He seemed emotionally stable, mature, grounded, all the things I thought I wanted after dealing with a lot of chaotic guys my own age. We met through mutual friends and clicked pretty quickly. He said he liked how mature I was and how together I seemed for my age, which felt nice to hear, especially since I came out of a very abusive household. I won't lie, I felt flattered at first. I thought we had an understanding that yes, I'm younger, but I'm still an equal in this relationship. But over the months, that dynamic has really started to shift, and now I'm not sure I'm being treated like a partner at all. For some background, I've been diagnosed with endometriosis and POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Both conditions affect my daily life in big ways. I deal with chronic fatigue, dizziness, and a lot of pain. There are days when I physically can't get out of bed without struggling, and managing my symptoms takes a lot of mental energy on top of everything else. Jake knows this. I was upfront about it from the beginning. At first, he was really kind and supportive. But over time, he started acting like he knows better than me how I should be living my life. It started with small comments about how much I sleep or how I manage my symptoms, but now it's like I can't do anything without some kind of lecture or judgment. Some examples: if I sleep in to manage a flare-up, that's not healthy. You need structure or you'll never be independent. If I get food delivered on a day I'm too fatigued to cook, you're wasting money and being lazy. If I cancel plans because of pain, you'll never build resilience if you give in every time. Even if I lie down after standing too long and feel dizzy, a POTS symptom, he tells me I should push through because resting too much makes it worse. He also makes comments about my outfits being too revealing or not appropriate, and when I tell him I don't want unsolicited advice, he says he's just trying to help me grow or teach me how to be an adult. But I am an adult, just one managing 2 chronic illnesses on top of everything else. Things came to a head last week. I was having a rough few days, a bad endo flare, 0 energy, and could barely sit upright for long. He came over and saw that I'd been resting most of the day and immediately launched into another long-winded talk about discipline and life habits and how I need to stop relying on rest as a crutch. I'd had enough. So I said, not even shouting, just tired, I didn't agree to date a discount dad. If I wanted someone to supervise my life and tell me how I'm failing, I'd move back in with my parents. He went completely silent, left my apartment, and didn't talk to me for 2 days. When he finally did, he said I crossed a line, that he was just trying to help, and that I had no idea how hard it is to support someone who won't even try. I was honestly stunned. Now his friends are messaging me, saying I'm selfish and too immature to handle a relationship with a real adult. His mom, yes, his actual mother, messaged me saying she's disappointed and that Jake has always been the kind of guy who lifts women up. I just want to be clear, I do try. Every day is hard with these conditions. I work, I cook when I can, I handle my appointments, I advocate for myself in medical systems that constantly brush me off. I don't think I need to be raised by a man who thinks being 6 years older makes him my life coach. I care about him, but I also feel like I've been slowly shoved into the role of student or child in this relationship. I'm starting to wonder if that was his intention from the beginning. So, great people of Reddit, am I the jerk for calling my boyfriend a discount dad after months of being treated like a project instead of a person? Top/relevant comments. Op responds to a downvoted comment regarding communication keys, trying new things, and managing health issues. My main issue with the clothing comments is that what I wear isn't actually revealing at all. Most of the time, I wear really baggy wax jeans with a fitted shirt, but even then, it usually doesn't show any skin. I tend to wear a lot of long-sleeved sports-style tops. The only time I'm in anything more relaxed is when I'm at home, just wearing a t-shirt and underwear, and that's only ever around him, no one else. As for my health, my flare-ups really aren't frequent. In the last 6 months, there have only been 2 times when things were bad enough that I couldn't properly move for a day or so. On a day-to-day basis, you wouldn't even know anything's wrong. I have full days of work and study, and then I come home and rest. That's usually when he calls me lazy. We've communicated about all of this more than enough. We've been together for almost a year. In fact, tomorrow would mark a full year, and I've spent that time trying to explain how I feel and why the way he treats me isn't okay. Most of those conversations have ended in huge arguments, with him screaming at me and accusing me of making up my illnesses. He's told me more than once that if he had what I have, he'd be completely fine, and that I'm exaggerating everything. He's even said that there's nothing wrong with me, that I just think the world revolves around me, and that I need to stop pretending to be in pain. If those comments had never been made, I might have been able to understand his frustration or at least see it from his side. But after hearing things like that repeatedly, it just feels like he's being controlling. Across this entire year of us being together, there's probably only been about 1 full week total where I've completely stayed in bed. I know my limits. I've had POTS since I was 10 and was diagnosed with endometriosis 2 years after my first period. I've lived with these conditions for most of my life, and I know how to manage them. What I don't need is someone telling me they don't exist or that I'm using them as excuses to avoid being productive. I work 10-hour shifts on a daily basis and also study a diploma. How old was Op when she met her partner, as there is an age gap? I was freshly 18 when we met, and he didn't know how old I was until about 3 weeks into speaking. To be completely honest, I thought he was closer to my age, as he very much looked like it and acted like it. I am 19 in about a month. I'm not trying to stand up for him with the comment I'm about to make, but I can definitely say I do look and act a lot older than what I am. I get it quite a lot from a load of different people and a lot of different professions. I can honestly see how you made the mistake of thinking I could be older than what I was, especially because my friend group is also between 20 and 23. Commenter. Dude's 24, dating an 18-year-old with chronic illness, and thinks he's your life coach? The age gap and his behavior scream control issues. You managing 2 serious conditions while working isn't lazy, it's impressive AF. Also, his mom messaging you is weird and crossing boundaries. Run. Op's response. I definitely do think his mom messaging me was weird, and I do fully believe that he completely twisted the situation to her, because his mother and I have had a really good bond up until then. Op clarifies why she was having this relationship with a 24-year-old guy. I get the point you're trying to make, and trust me, I'm not here to defend someone who's made me feel this crappy. But I want to clear some things up. This relationship was not illegal. When we met, I was 18 and he was 23. He's 24 now, and I'm turning 19 very soon. I'm legally an adult and have been living as one for a long time. I finished school at 15, moved out at 14, and have worked full-time since I was 16. I've been independent for years and had to grow up a lot faster than most people my age. I know some people take issue with age gaps, and that's fair. But where I live, and for the life I've lived, our age difference wasn't seen as strange. It's actually one of the more normal ones I've come across. I personally stayed with him because everyone my age felt immature, directionless, or just flat out not on my level. At the time, being with someone older seemed like the smarter, more stable choice. And honestly, the age gap still isn't a red flag to me. He is. The way he acted. The way he treated me. That's the actual issue. When I mentioned him not knowing my age straight away or me usually being around older people, it wasn't to defend him. It was to explain how I saw things at the time. When he did find out my age, he chose to stay. That part is 100% on him. And now, after seeing the way he's treated me, how he's spoken to me, how he's lashed out, how he tried to hit me while I was crying, I've broken up with him. I know now that this wasn't okay. I've read every single DM and comment. I'm starting to reply to them now, and honestly, a lot of what people have said gave me clarity I didn't expect. It helped me understand what I was rationalizing or minimizing. You're right that he had choices. And so did I. I chose to stay longer than I should have, but I've chosen to leave now, and that's what matters most to me. Update same day. Hey. I didn't expect the post to get the kind of attention it did. I watched it go from about 200 upvotes down to 1, and honestly, I'm still not sure why, but I really want to thank everyone who commented or messaged me privately. I've read everything. I'm slowly replying when I have the energy. You've all given me so much insight, some of it really hit, stuff I hadn't even thought about until now. Just. Thank you. It means a lot. I wasn't planning to update this soon, but things have gotten way worse within the last 3 hours, and I feel like I need to talk about it. Especially after what just happened. So I've been really sick the last few days. Like, properly sick. I was diagnosed with a bone sinus infection, and it's knocked me flat. I've had constant fevers, stabbing pain in my face and head, nausea, dizziness, I can't keep much food down, and on top of that, my POTS symptoms have been way worse than usual. I've mostly just been in bed, barely functioning, just trying to rest and not pass out. Because of all that, I had to call in sick to work these last 2 days. I work with food, and there was just no way I could safely be around customers or food prep like this. I can barely even stand upright. It didn't feel like I had a choice. This afternoon, I got a call from work telling me I was fired. No warnings or anything, just said they needed someone more reliable, and they can't keep me on if I can't show up. I get it, I guess, but it still crushed me. I've always tried to show up, I've never taken advantage of sick days or anything. It felt like everything hit at once. I've only taken about 4 sick days in the entire 2 years I've worked for this company. Jake came over not long after. I told him what happened. Told him I lost my job, that I'm sick, that I might need to go to the hospital because I'm starting to feel seriously not okay, and his response was basically, well, maybe if you took better care of yourself, this wouldn't happen. Then he said something like, you still could have gone in, people push through being sick all the time. I tried to explain that it's not like a cold, this is a bone infection. I literally couldn't walk from the bed to the kitchen earlier without fainting, and I work with food. He just kept brushing it off like I was being dramatic. He told me I'm always sick and I never fight through it. That turned into a full-blown fight. He started yelling, full volume screaming, pacing the room while I was just sitting there crying and asking him to stop. I was already feeling like absolute crap, and I couldn't even get a word in without him talking over me. At one point, I tried to speak and he got up close, and he raised his hand like he was about to hit me. He didn't, but he looked like he wanted to. That scared me more than anything he's ever said. That was it for me. I ended it. We're done. I broke up with him then and there. Told him to get out, that I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care how sick I am or how hard things get from here. I'd rather be completely alone than sit there sobbing while the person who's supposed to care about me screams at me for being unwell. Right now I'm still in bed, fever's high, heart rate's not great, and honestly, I think I'm going to the hospital soon. Something feels off in my body and I don't want to wait until it's too late. With POTS and now this infection, it feels like everything is just piling on top of me. I'm genuinely scared, not just emotionally but physically. My body feels like it's breaking down. Though I wanted to take the time to write this update. I'm using text-to-speech, so I am so sorry if it's a bit jumbled. I'm tired of begging someone to believe me when I say I'm in pain. I'm tired of being talked down to, managed, lectured, and guilt-tripped when I literally need help. I didn't ask to be sick. I didn't ask for endo, or POTS, or a sinus infection that knocked me flat. I've done everything I can to keep pushing through, but it was never enough for him. But it's over. I'm scared, and sick, and jobless, but I'm also finally out. That has to mean something. If you've made it this far, thank you again. Your comments gave me the courage to stop waiting for someone else to change and finally start choosing myself. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Thank God you broke up with him. He was grooming you and definitely emotionally abusive through manipulation tactics and attempting to control you. I hope you get better soon. Removing an abusive partner from your life will help remove a lot of the stress you're feeling and accelerate your healing. You may be able to report your workplace for wrongful termination, as long as you properly called in sick and provided medical records or a doctor's note, depending on which country you're located in. Ops response. I definitely am going to be reporting my old workplace. My manager wasn't the best person in general, and there's a lot that she did that wasn't okay. Where I'm from, if you get wrongly terminated from a job, and you go through Fair Work, there's about a 70% chance you can get a $10K payout. Commenter 2. Call your trusted friends and tell them what's happened and see if one of them can take you to the hospital. Make sure when you come back home you are not alone. Change the locks to your door. Block his number and any of his friends, mom, etc. Focus on your health. You can always get another job. With your health issues, can't you get some type of help from the government? Ops response. I did end up calling a friend to take me to the hospital, and I told them everything that happened. I also have another close friend staying at mine until I'm back, just to make sure he doesn't try to go there or anything. And for my health issues, I can go onto a disability payment. I'm eligible for that, but taking that payment means I'll no longer be able to work unless I do cash-in-hand work that I don't tell the government about, practically. And I would definitely say that working is one of my favorite things. I'm studying to be a mortician, so it would absolutely break my heart if I could no longer do that. Op explains her family health history. Bone sinus infections in my family are very common. They are never really bad and only take some antibiotics to clear up. I got scans done and stuff, and it was only a very slight infection, hence why I was just given antibiotics and told to rest. Op on getting unemployment. We have something called Centrelink. I'm really not sure if that's in America. I don't pay much attention to what's over there. But applying for unemployment and job seeker payment is incredibly easy. You also keep that payment while you're working until you're receiving a certain amount of money for your job. Commenter 3. I'm proud of you, and I'm praying for you. I hope you feel better quickly. You're right to listen to your body. Go to the hospital first. Next, focus on unemployment benefits. You should be able to Google it for your state and apply online to get the ball rolling. I'm so happy you lost your abusive a-hole boyfriend. You need to take care of yourself mentally so you can take care of yourself physically so you can take care of yourself financially. You're doing everything right, and Reddit is rooting for you. Just a dude note, something tells me your loser ex lives with his mom. Am I right? Ops response. Thank you so much for your comment. I did go to the hospital, and I have applied for unemployment and job seeker. And surprisingly, he doesn't live with his mom, he lives by himself. He works in the mines. Second update 2 months later. Hey everyone, back again with another update. Things are actually good now, long one, but worth it. Last time I was here I was sick, jobless, fresh out of a bad relationship, and honestly convinced I'd peaked at being a human potato sack. But things have flipped around a lot faster than I thought, and I finally get to share a happy update instead of a sad rant. Health stuff first, I went to hospital, cheers to everyone who pushed me to stop being stubborn. The sinus infection was grim, but antibiotics sorted it. Now I don't wake up every day feeling like my skull's in a vice. POTS and endo are still the forever companions from hell, but with the infection gone, my baseline feels way more manageable. Cooked myself a proper dinner the other day without needing a nap halfway through, which for me is like running a marathon. My friends have been absolute legends. One mate accidentally bought me 6 kilograms of potatoes instead of 1 when grabbing groceries for me, so I'm now the proud owner of Potato Mountain 2025. Another mate sat with me in the hospital waiting room, and we entertained ourselves by giving all the vending machine snacks aggressive ratings. Chocolate got a 10 out of 10, those weird dried out muffins got a -3. It made something scary feel kind of funny. I've also joined an online support group for chronic illness, and honestly it's been life-changing. They just get it straight away, no judgment, no lectures. Plus the memes are painfully accurate. If you can't laugh at your broken body, what can you do? Money/work side, getting fired still stung, but I've got Centrelink set up now. Not rolling in riches, but I can breathe. Applying for casual jobs closer to home, found one literally down the street, so we'll see. In the meantime, I've been selling random stuff online. Marketplace buyers are a different breed of human. Someone actually tried to haggle on something I listed for free. Like, mate. What's your endgame? Mental health. I started seeing a counselor. Best decision ever. I'm learning how to stop feeling guilty for resting and how to say no without apologizing like it's a crime. She calls it boundaries. I call it telling people to rack off nicely and finally not letting idiots make me feel bad for having a nap. Now the juicy part, the new guy. Honestly, I didn't think I'd be here already, but I've started seeing someone new. We've known each other for ages, and it just kind of shifted into something a bit more romantic. We're just taking things slow, but honestly it's been really lovely. He's sweet, he listens, and he doesn't treat me like I'm broken or a child. We went out for a walk the other day, and he brought snacks in case I got dizzy. Not in a patronizing way, just thoughtful. Feels weird in the best way to not be constantly bracing myself for criticism. I can tell him how I feel without being talked over, corrected, or treated like a child. Honestly feels like I've stumbled into some alternate universe where partners are nice and don't yell at you for having a nap. Little wins, found a GP who actually takes my POTS seriously, miracle worker, figured out pacing better so I don't crash as hard, and I splurged on a blanket that's basically the love child of a cloud and a marshmallow. 10/10 would recommend. And Jake? Blocked, deleted, history. No drama, no closure talks, no nothing. Just blissful silence. It's amazing how much mental space you get back when you're not constantly bracing for a lecture. So yeah. Life isn't magically perfect, but it's lighter, happier, and way less potato sacky. I'm safe, laughing again, and excited about what's next. And to everyone who backed me when I was stuck in that mess, thank you. You gave me courage to leave and reminded me I wasn't asking too much by just wanting kindness. If you're stuck where I was, being spoken down to, made to feel like a burden, or treated like you need a babysitter, please know you deserve better. So many people reached out to me saying they were in the same sort of situation as me, and reading what I wrote gave them some form of closure or validation that they're not the only ones. That's honestly been so special for me to hear. I'm so glad my story is able to bring people some form of peace. But seriously, If I can leave and end up with potato mountains and snack carrying sweethearts, you can too. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Anyone else want to bet Jake called her job and told them she was faking it, and that's why she got fired? Glad to see you got out of the toxic relationship and are on the mend toward better things. Ops response. Honestly, maybe. But my work environment was incredibly toxic, and stuff like that, without being fired, has happened there before. I honestly kind of knew it was coming because my manager did not believe I was ever truly sick when I was. Once, she came to my house and woke me up because I had called into work. I answered the door in my PJs, an oversized shirt, was pale as a ghost, hair everywhere, nose running, and eyes red, and she told me, I used to be a nurse. I know when people are sick, and you are not. You either come to work every day, or you don't have a job. Then she went back to my workplace and told everyone I was fine, was getting dressed up, and was going into the city. Commenter 2. Good to hear that. With the new guy, be vigilant within yourself also, and take it easy. Sometimes a bad relationship can mess with your heart, leave scars, and trigger false alarms with a good relationship. I remember once comparing and questioning the relaxed, gentle attraction with a new date to the bubbly, euphoric, and volatile feelings that my ex gave me. Ultimately, I have some responsibility for sabotaging that new relationship due to lingering baggage. In the end, every choice has its own package of strengths and weaknesses. Ops response. Yeah, I definitely am being careful. Hence, we are being so slow and just taking it one step at a time. I don't want to sabotage something so great.